What's up, everybody? So today we're working on the interior of Luke's truck. Now in the last video you guys saw, we ended up getting everything all painted up, all ready to go to be swapped, and all the gray pieces got painted black, as well as the dash. We also went ahead and fixed up that upper piece. It's really common on these trucks to crack. So if you guys haven't seen that video, make sure to check it out, but you can see how we repaired that crack and got it looking nice. So today what the plan is going to be go ahead and strip out the interior out of the brown truck. Now you guys can see here, it's pretty simple. There's really not much to it. I mean, we kind of understand. We tore apart the gray one and figured we'd go ahead and give you guys a little bit of walkthrough on how to tear out the dash, the carpet, the seats, and all these other little interior pieces. I know there's not a whole lot of tutorials or write-ups or anything about this truck. It's pretty, I don't know, it's not a common truck, I guess. Or yeah. So what the plan is today is go ahead, get this all out, kind of give you guys a little bit of walkthrough on how to do all this stuff, and then hopefully by the next video, we can go ahead and start actually swapping everything in. I know you said you got some plans. We've got some stuff ordered as well, as far as the interior, just to continue on with the whole black interior. Like the carpet is obviously this nasty brown. You've got newer carpet that we'll be installing here shortly.
We might do something about seats.
Yep, seats are still up in the air. Not really sure just yet. I know.
I don't know what this looks like.
We were kind of thinking of doing buckets.
Yep.
But
about it.
we got multiple braces now, so we can actually run buckets.
Yeah.
Because the bench seat's kind of old man style. Can't really do much with them. And then the headliner as well. It is this brown color.
Brown and starting to.
Yeah, it's starting to get some little holes and stuff in it. Which we do have the gray one over there. That one's not in good shape either, so we won't be using that. I think you went ahead and ordered a.
Yep, I ordered a new one.
New one.
WLS headliners.
And we'll see
if it's any good.
We'll see what that condition's like, if that's worth it or any good, you know. So stay tuned for those future videos. But for now, I think the plan is to go ahead, hop in here, and start disassembling this. And we'll probably start off with the dash, just because it's the easiest thing for now.
Well,
leave the seats in.
We have a seat.
Yeah, because we did that in the gray truck and not
Wasn't
so fun. Nope. So let's go ahead and start off with this. Okay, so the first thing we need to do in order to get this dash out is take the steering wheel off. Now, I believe there's two screws, one up here by the horn button, one down here on the horn button, and then Luke already has the steering wheel turned sideways, and there's two in the back here and here. So they should all just be Phillips screws. So we can get that out, then this should pop off the cover, and I believe there's like a bigger bolt or nut here that will take off and try to get the steering wheel off itself. Okay, so we just managed to get all four screws out. So now you can see it came out there. All you have to do is just go ahead, unscrew those wires there. I think that's for the horns. Yep. And this cover should be out of the way. The other thing we may have to look into is getting a different steering wheel, because this one's kind of bunk. I don't know if this is pretty common on these trucks, but I think the gray one's the same way, where it's all like kind of rotten.
It's starting to fade, yeah.
So we have to find a different option for this, but for now we got it out. So next up is going to be this big old nut right here. Okay, so now we got our breaker bar and our 21mm socket. Just go ahead and slide that over top of there, and then go ahead and break that loose. There it goes. Oh, and the other thing for you guys to know, best thing to do is try to keep the steering wheel as straight as possible. So this thing's there, should be good. It's still held in place right now, but no, I guess that
a little bit more.
Quite. Yeah, go and unthread it the rest of the way. Don't go all the way out though, because yep. Okay, so right there is at the end. So next up, just kind of pound on the steering wheel and try to break it loose. The reason we leave the nut on there is just so it doesn't come off and smack you in the face. Okay, so we got the steering wheel off. It took both of us to kind of pound on this, but it is out of the way now and off. I don't want to lose this nut, so I'll go and put it back on there. So steering wheel is done. So next up, in order to do the rest of this, we have to take off this cover. There's just 4 screws, which I don't know if you guys can see them very well, but there's 1, 2, 3, 4 here. Then this cover will come off. We'll be able to have access to like the ignition switch and also this assembly here. I believe this thing will just slide off once we get to that point, but we just need to get the cover off right now. Okay, so there's actually 5 screws. There's actually one more that's like tucked up over here, but now it is all out of the way. So there's our top half and our bottom half here. That's just like the little ignition ring. This one actually has 3. The other one that we pulled off has 4. So that's kind of cool to look at. But now next up, I believe there's a little screw on the back side of this here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but that's right there. You just loosen that up and it releases the tension off of this, and this whole piece can slide off, and then we can unplug each one of these wires. Oh, and one more thing before I actually continue on, like pulling wires and stuff. I don't remember if we mentioned in the beginning of the video, but make sure to disconnect your battery. We've already done that, and just want to give you guys a heads up so you guys don't run into any issues. All right, so here's the piece here. You can see there's that screw. It's got the little tensioner piece on there. When you unscrew it, it loosens it up. And then, of course, all the plugs and wires we managed to get out of there. In order to slide this off, we did have to unthread this nut, but like I said, I don't want to lose it, so I put it right back on. So now that that's out, I think we can go ahead and start messing with some of these pieces underneath the dash to get everything out of the way, as well as like the cluster area here. Okay, so in order to get this instrument cluster out next, there is one screw here, and then there's two up here. Once this comes forward, we should be able to have access to the dimmer light switch, which kind of works, kind of doesn't work. And then I believe there's like a speedo cable back here, which we'll probably have to add some slack from the engine bay just to get that to pop out. See, there's also 4 screws here to get this out. Okay, so we managed to get the cluster pulled out. As you guys can see here, there is still some wires on the back side of this. I don't know if I'll be able to get that angle. Let me grab a light here. There. And kind of turn it towards myself. You want to hold it right here, Luke?
Yeah.
And then we can kind of show them a little better. But yeah, you can see these plugs in here, and then you also see this is the speedo cable. So we had to pull this through to add some slack in order to get it out. But in order to get this let go, looks like there's just a couple clips here, and it should release, and then we should be able to get this whole cluster out of here. And there you guys have it. So you guys can kind of get a better visual of it, of each one of the plugs and the speedo cable. Like I said, it's just kind of a clip here that lifts up, and then this down here kind of lifts up too, and it just slides straight back. So. And I know in the other truck, the 2600, that was a little bit harder to remove.
Yeah.
And it was like covered in grease. So this one, not so bad. So now we'll just go and continue on. All right, so once we have this gauge cluster out, you guys can see there's one 10mm bolt right there holding the dash on. So we'll get that out. Then once that's out, we'll go ahead, move on to the glove box. Glove box goes, this is pretty easy. You guys can basically see all the screws. You get this 4 here, and then you have to take these 2 out for the latch, and then I believe it's these 2, and this whole thing should slide forward. I don't know if we need to take these out or not. I know we did the gray interior. We did take these out. I don't know if it's necessary. It should just come out as one, but we'll see. Okay, so now we got the glove box out of the way. Next up is back over here. You can see, hopefully here, my hand's kind of blocking the light, but there's a little clip here that we have to need to release to get the flapper open. And then there is some plugs and wires down in here that's kind of in the way. There's one right here, which is going to be a little bit of a trick to get to. I don't know how well we'll be able to film it. And then over here on this side, you guys can see there's 2 10mm bolts. Right there and right there. We'll have to take out. That should be, I think that should be everything on this side, and then we should be able to move back over underneath the dash on the driver's side. Okay, so now you guys can see here, we managed to get all these wires out of the way. There's a few more, like this little guy here. It looks like he wraps around underneath here, so we need him out of the way, as well as this one here, which was down there at the bottom, and then this plug here. This one I think has something to do with the AC, so now that that's out of the way, it should be able to just be slid out. Now that that's done, and those 2 bolts are out from back here, I think we're gonna have to go ahead mess with the radio bezel here. So there's like 4 screws here, or 2 screws on this side and 2 screws on this side, and then the whole thing should just be able to slide forward. Okay, so we just managed to get this all undone. There's actually 2 screws here, 2 screws there, and then there's one way back here underneath the coin holder, or I guess the ashtray. And just grabbing on this plastic, it is super brittle. As you can see there, it has exploded.
Exploded a little bit more.
Yeah, so then you just pop out that wiring in the back there. Yeah, I don't know if this bracket here is like factory or what, but
yeah,
it kind of, this whole thing kind of sucks. I didn't realize how brittle that was.
No, the left side started to crack too.
Yeah, just grabbing it just blew out. So we'll go ahead and get this out of the way now. Okay, so now hopefully you guys can see it's underneath the dash here, but you have to remove these 10mm bolts. I'm gonna probably pull out these just to disassemble this entire bracket and get it out of the way. So we'll pop those out. That's where the radio was setting, and hopefully that should be part of the dash that will release it. Okay, so now that we are on the driver's side, we have to drop out this vent. So there's 2 screws here. There's also 2 screws here, and then we're gonna take out, which this is just kind of held on jankily, but we need to get these screws out. I think I'm gonna take the fuse door off too, just to get it out of the way because it's already broken. But we'll take these 2 out, push the fuse box out of the way, and then I believe there's a bracket back behind here that we'll have to remove as well. Okay, then all that's left over here is these 2 screws. I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah. Turn this around here. It's out of the way here. But there's 2 screws here for the parking brake, so we'll get those out too. Okay, so the other thing I did is I went ahead, pulled out the hood release cable. It just kind of goes up here and slides in. It's just held up by this nut. Use a crescent wrench, loosen it up, and then the nut should slide out, and then the whole thing should just be able to drop down. Okay, so now that you guys can see, we got all these screws, everything is out of the way. All that's left to do as far as like underneath stuff will be back here. There's this little clip all the way back there that's connected to, I believe, the heater controls the box. That'll come out. This little plug here will have to come out. And I think that's it. There should be like a wiring harness or something up here as well. I think we have to disconnect or unplug. I'm not really sure where it's at. Oh, and then I think this has to come out too. So there's another little plug there and there. So I think those have to come out. If I remember anything else, if we see it, I'll be sure to bring you guys back because this is going to be too hard to film underneath here. Okay, so you guys can see there, we got the clip opened up. We got the this little piece taken out, as well as this one over here that was connected up there. So that stuff is free now. And then next up is over here on this side. Let's try to get some better lighting for you guys. We can see this yellow plug here. I'm sure it's supposed to be white, but this is like the main body harness plug, I think. And we're supposed to unclip this. And then after that, we can go ahead and get the rest of the actual bolts that hold the dash down out. Okay, so you guys can see there, we got the wire disconnected. Next up will be all the bolts, like I said. There is one right here underneath the dash, as well as one clear over there on the other side. And then we have one tucked up behind here. And then let me go up top here. You will see on the dash, they're underneath these little covers. So one there, one in the middle, and then one over there. And then there's also one just like this on the other side over there. So we're going to break those loose. I believe they're all 10 millimeters, and shouldn't be too bad. The dash should be able to pop out. So let's go and pop all those out. Well, I'm hoping that should be everything now. You guys can see there the dash is kind of, it looks to be loose. So we'll have Luke go on the other side over here and we'll try to slide this thing out. I don't know how well this will be able to be filmed because I don't want you guys to be in the way while I'm trying to pull this out. But we'll see what we can do. Okay, so there you guys have it. The dash came out. I was getting hooked here. Those threads, they go down through here and it was getting caught. But other than that, it seemed to be pretty easy. Not so bad. You guys can probably do this yourself if you really wanted to now. It's kind of a little bit of a tedious task. So I think next up what we're gonna go ahead and do is pop out the rest of the interior. So like this trim, these pieces here, this back piece, the seat, all that stuff is pretty well straightforward. It's all held in by like a bunch of Phillips screws. So I think we'll go ahead and just go and pop all this stuff out. Okay, so now you guys can see we got our trim pieces out. Everything's out of here. The headline is the only thing that's left. We got this upper A pillar out, and then we also got like the seatbelt bracket covers and stuff all off there. So all that's left to do now is the headliner. The headliner is a little bit of a trick just because it's kind of taped down on the edges over here, and then yeah, you can see there. And then up here is kind of a lip that hooks over, as well as in the back. It's tucked in behind here, the back window. So we're going to try to take that out next and expose all this, as well as we'll probably take the seat out. But for right now, we're letting the impact gun charge so we can get the seat out, as well as all the seat belts. So on the headliner, this is like the piece I was talking about. It kind of wraps up behind the windshield trim area right about there. Same thing with the back. It kind of tucks in underneath like this back window, so you have to kind of pry it out. And then there's 3 rods up here, which one of us will just pick a side and push it out like that way or towards me, and then the whole thing should just be able to drop down. So there it is, headliner's out. This is all it consists of, just kind of this canvasy material, and then it's got the 3 rods. So probably won't be using this again unless that one you ordered works out or not. We got the gray one laying over there. The gray one kind of, it ripped, it tore, it wasn't in good shape at all. Plus, we honestly didn't really know how to take it out, and probably shouldn't have learned on how to do that one first. So we got hopefully a new one coming. So
better material.
Once we get to that point, we'll be able to install it.
Just plastic stuff.
I hope it's better material at least.
We'll find out.
This stuff's really like
it's supposed to be nylon
really
or
cheap.
Something.
So now that that's out, yeah, that did have plastic rods, where the other one did have metal. Yeah.
Just a foam pad.
I don't know if we do anything up there as far as like a dynamat or anything like that, like a sound deadening.
We could.
I don't know.
I'm
this
not
stuff
sure.
will probably hold up pretty decently. It's still looks like it's factory stuff. Next up will be seat, and then carpet. Well, we finally managed to get everything out of here. We got the seats out, the seat belts, all that crap out. This carpet's pretty disgusting. I mean, you can tell basically where Luca like cleaned it up and everything up here in the front half, and the back half is just stained and nasty. And I'm really curious to see what this carpet's like, or I guess the floor pan's underneath, because that bolt back there, right where Luke's foot is, that was for the seat one, that snapped. So we're gonna have to probably drill that out, retap it and stuff to make the seat be able to work again. But yeah, so I think our final step now is to go ahead and pull this carpet out, because this is disgusting.
This is worse
some
than
nasty carpet.
This is worse than the Missouri truck.
Yeah, I thought the gray carpet was pretty bad, but this carpet's nasty. So let's go ahead, finish this off, and get this out of here. Okay, so we just managed to get the carpet out, and we got a little surprise over there on the driver's side. Passenger side here, you can see it's clean. Driver's side, not so much.
We got a Fred Flintstone truck.
Yeah, we got a little hole down there, which I knew there was a little bit of rust underneath there, but I didn't expect it to be quite this bad. So now we have everything stripped out. I mean, we can fix it. I just don't know what options we want to go to. Do we want to either A, swap over the entire cab, B, make a patch panel, or C, we have the red truck that's across the road over there that we can cut the floor pan out of it, because it was still good, and use that just to save this truck. So kind of at a loss
Not
here.
good.
I mean, that's appears to be like the only area on this truck that we found that actually has rust.
There's like some surface back here.
Yep, I don't know if that's anything too crazy though.
I don't think so.
I feel like the best thing to do would be to swap cabs, but I don't know if I want to go through all the work of doing that.
I don't do that either. We'd have to pretty much undo everything we've just done.
And I also don't want to tear apart a B2600.
Neither do I.
But I don't know. We'll do some thinking. Maybe you guys throw it down in the comments below what you guys think we should do. Hopefully here in the next video we'll be able to have an answer for you guys and make some moves. Otherwise, for now, we're going to go ahead and start swapping over all these panels, not putting them in the truck. We're just going to go ahead and get the dash prepped up and ready to go. And just so we are ready to install this. We also have, like we said, new carpet that's going to go in this. So before we can do any of that stuff, we have to figure out what's happening with
the floor.
Yeah. And I don't know if it goes up much farther. We still have like a little bit of backing. I want to pull this side up.
It looks like it stops at that
Seam line.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll have to figure out something to do with that. But for now,
Figure out why it's
we
collecting water
we got some
too.
thinking to do. Yeah, the carpet was pretty wet. I have a feeling it's because of these seals here, but I don't know. It was just mainly in this vicinity here and that area over there, and obviously up
Here.
front. So we'll figure something out.
Yeah.
Yeah, this isn't fun.
Not happy.
No.
I thought we could just throw everything back in quick.
Yep. So I don't know what to do at this point.
We'll figure it out.
We'll figure something out. Hope you guys liked this video. Otherwise, if you guys did, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to see what we're doing with the truck next. And like I said, throw down in the comments below what you guys think we should do, whether or not we do swap cabs, which that's going to be a huge job. Cut out the floor pan out of the red truck and put it in here, or just make a generic like patch panel, which I think that'll probably be the hardest thing to do out of the three, just because this has all got pretty much a shape to it. So, okay, I guess we will see you guys in the next one.